of the year where faculty, staff, and students get involved in service in the community. It's called the some of you have participated before, whether virtually or in person. So we're excited to have it back this year, not today, sorry. April 30th will be our date. So mark that in your calendars, get ready and gear up for it. So we're excited to have you all. We'll have this opportunity to speak to you all today. Yeah, so we'd like for all of you and your student orgs to register for the big event. So to register, you can either go to tinyurl.com/TBE2022. Olivier, can I have a small request? Can you pull up a tab really quickly, just so I can show them where they can go, try to walk them, just a new tab.
Yeah, we can.
Yes, thank you so much. Can you just go to, okay, so this is what you do if you're looking for the website, you can go to towson.edu, sorry. If you don't want to go through the tiny URL link, you can go to towson.edu. In the search bar, you can just type TBE. And then click the first link. The first link will have, if you scroll down, you'll see pictures from previous years. You'll see, oh, sorry. Thanks. You'll see pictures from previous years. You'll see a link that says register for the big event. So you can click that and it'll take you there. The next link is the service guide. So we have the opportunity this year to serve in person or virtually. You can also find your own service site or have our office find one for you. That's completely up to you. You would just put your preference on your application or on your registration form. So if you're looking for your own service site, you can click on our service guide that will be on our website. Yeah. And then we also have a fact sheet on our page where you can look at some of the questions that other people have asked or things that might be of interest to you regarding the big event. You can dive deeper into that. And then if you have any further questions, you can contact our office at communityservice@towson.edu. Yeah. So I think that's the website will pretty much answer a lot of your questions, but if not, you can always reach out to us for more. Are there any questions that you all have regarding the big event now? Yes. Yes. And then one more thing, sorry, I want to make sure that everyone knows that we emphasize this. Your student group, each person in your student group that is participating does have to register individually. And you'll just mark which group you're participating with. We are seeing a lot of presidents register without their group. So we want to make sure that we register everyone so they can track who's participating for safety reasons, for COVID tracing, and all these things. So we want to make sure everyone is registered. But thank you so much for your time and allowing me to speak. Thank you.
Thank you. Is there any public participation or student concerns? Marvin.
Hello, admin. I just want to encourage the administration. Maybe I might be able to get it done this year, but like later on next fall is midterm elections. So I understand how it's very difficult to mobilize college students, but the SGA has a reputation of doing a great job at it every year, every term, I guess. So if you don't, I mean, obviously this administration is about to end, but I would encourage you all to like start maybe brainstorming of what directors after you can do to continue that tradition of mobilizing. SGA has done a great job in promoting healthcare and advocating healthcare for the pandemic and everything, but our voices are very important with this upcoming election. All our rep houses are going up, and then how many senators? 35 of the 100 are going into. So just want to encourage you all to do that. Olivier, when you were director of civic engagement, you did a great job last midterm with last election year with that. So just encourage you all to think about how directors after you can continue the tradition of mobilizing our college students. With that, thank you. Have a great spring break too.
Thank you, Marvin. And those conversations have already started with our administration, with our wonderful Director Johnstone. So we'll be sure to keep up Towson's proud reputation of having one of the highest voter registrations of campuses. in America. So, no. Director Johnstone?
Yeah, if you have any ideas, feel free to email me at jjo. Yeah, I'm the director of civic engagement currently in this administration. So if you have any
Yes.
ideas, please feel free to email me at jjohns192@students.towson.edu.
I do actually, so I will email you. If yeah,
Okay, thank you very
I'll
much.
check the website like this evening, because I definitely don't.
That's good, that's fine. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Is there any other public participation or citizen concerns? Hearing none, we will move into communications, advisor remarks.
Hey, everybody. Turn it off. Good afternoon, everyone. Just a couple of quick announcements. So number one, we have our men's and our women's basketball teams both made it to the NIT tournament. Both their games will be later on this week. Please look on the athletic website for daytime location. I think the women will be playing at CQ Arena, and the men will be away. So please make sure that you look at those times and please support your team, whether it's in public on a TV down here in the Union or online or going to the game. So please make sure you do that. Number two, working behind the scenes as the AVP in charge of events and conference services. We're helping out TUS, SGA, and a couple other organizations put together the Ukraine rally for Ukraine, and it's going to occur on Wednesday after spring break. Bless you. The 30th from 5 to 7 in Freedom Square. What SGA has taken, what they have taken responsibility for is some advertisements through Jordan, but he's not here right now. So once the advertisements gets to me, we can advertise all over the place. However, it's going to be in Freedom Square from 5 to 7 on the 30th. In addition, I also believe that the lights outside of Stevens Hall will be changed to blue and gold and shine onto Stevens Hall. They have to change the gels for it. So just making you aware of those things. For those that have started midterms, ended midterms, started second or third, first or second exams, good luck this week. And please be safe next week for those of you who are going away on spring break. Be safe for your safety, your personal safety. Be safe for your safety when you are indulging in drinks and stuff like that. And just please be safe and be responsible for your friends and who you're around at all times. Okay, being in charge of student organizations, we have to make sure that we're taking care of each other. But next week, anybody going away? Where are you going? Yeah.
Oh, Barcelona.
Oh, wow. Okay. So you're going to your parents' house? That's where I was last weekend. Yes. We're late together. Okay. So good luck with everything. Be safe, and good luck on your exams this week. And with that, I yield.
So much. Appropriations Committee, Government Operations Committee.
Hello, everyone. Just a quick report. Government Operations Committee found Resolution 33 favorable with amendments. And a reminder again, please submit any legislation that you want us to look at next GovOps by the Friday of spring break. Sooner the better. But that's all from me. Thank you.
Thank you so much. I will give the report for Pro Temp Cities. Hi, everyone. Hope you're all doing well. We are able to get through our agenda this past Monday, which was to tackle and approve changes from the preamble to Article 4 as planned. Please submit your changes from Article 5 to Article 8 by March 25th. It should be in the form of a document shared with me or by email. I want to put some emphasis on the fact that only formal changes should be submitted to me. If you have any further questions, feel free to contact me. Thank you, and with that, I yield. Treasurer Colwood.
Okay, Treasure Colquitt says, Happy Tiger Tuesday, everyone. Unfortunately, I'm not feeling well today, but I'll be watching via YouTube. His report is he's working with Dean Savakis on drafting a joint student outreach and success webpage. We'll be launching soon. Students will be able to access all forms of direct aid on this site, including the SJ Laptop Loaner Program, and the Emergency Release Fund. Both of these are supported by the SJ. I also updated the website to reflect the fall 2022 budget deadlines and links. Senators, please ensure that every org receives this information before we leave for break. SGA is in partnership with other university departments, well, like Matt Leno said, and will host a peace rally for Ukraine Wednesday, March 30th from 5 to 7 p.m. in Freedom Square. Have a great rest of the week and feel free to reach out if you have any questions.
Thank you. Attorney General report.
Okay, hi everyone. I hope you're having a good week before spring break. One more week, then we get a break, yay. Okay, so just absence requests, make sure you're submitting them 24 hours in advance. I do understand if health concerns or emergencies come up, of course, that stuff happens for all of us, but if you know you're gonna be absent due to work or class or like an exam session, just make sure you submit that at least 24 hours in advance. Accountability review request forms, I hope you all are submitting those too if they're needed. Hopefully they're not, but if they are, please make sure you're submitting them because sadly I cannot see everything all the time. And then resume and cover letter, we are having a workshop for that sometime in April, so look forward to that. Also, please make sure you're looking at the professional GroupMe. A good practice can be just after you see a message in the professional GroupMe, just like it to show that we've seen it, because these messages be having 0 likes and there's like 40 of us in there. So we don't know if you guys have seen it, if you guys have registered the information we're telling you, things like that. And then also TU for You is coming up, which is when new students come to Towson before May 1st making their decision. So that is happening for a couple weekends in April. So I'm gonna just send a message just asking if anybody would like to volunteer to have like a table at TU for You where we can just tell new students like, this is SGA, this is how you would get involved, this is what we do, like come to Towson for these reasons. So I'll be in touch with all of you. And also just going forward, if I know I'm helping with professional development or trying in SGA, but if you also need help outside of SGA with other courses, you don't know where to go for class resources or school resources, please just feel free to talk to me. You can text me, group me, DM me, email me, any of that, and I can help you connect to other resources that you need. With that, I yield.
Thank you. Chief of Staff Moody.
Okay, hello everyone. Just a couple of things. So the email that I sent on Monday contains 2 forms that I need filled out by March 29th. This is really important, especially the banquet survey, just so I can make sure if anyone has any allergies or anything that needs to be addressed. Also, transition materials are due March 31st. If you need help with that, please talk with your exec liaison. You know what I'm trying to say, okay. Yeah, please talk with them. No acceptable due date. It's all last semester and then up until February 28th. Pre-meeting this week is optional. And then we are not accepting applications after Friday. So directors, if you're trying to hire ADs or their senators, please have them hired and everything by Friday.
Thank you so much. Department of Academic Affairs.
Hello, everyone. Happy Tiger Tuesday. I don't really have a big report. I'm meeting with the provost tomorrow. The first time as like the director, sending positive thoughts. I'm very excited. And we're just really talking about the enrollment process for transfer students. We're talking about the use of the pass-fail grading in some classes that are not major specific. And I've gotten some student concerns about unvaccinated students lying about getting tested weekly. I personally know someone who has been lying about it. So I am going to start raising awareness about it, looking for maybe a more concrete way to confirm the biweekly testing for COVID. So yeah, I'm just going to talk about that with her. So if anyone has any comments, questions, anything I want to bring up, please group me, text, anything, and I'll gladly bring it up. And with that, I yield.
Advisor Leno.
So just what you just said, I just want to bring up that any student at the university has a right and an obligation if they want to report any violation of code of conduct. Lying to university administrators is one of them. So if you go to report it, on the university website, you could actually report any violation of code of conduct. So I suggest if you come across major violations, you have the 5 Ws, or the who, what, where, when, why, witness, 6 Ws. Put them all in there, and then student conduct will investigate it. So just something to think about. We have to make sure that we're taking care of our fellow students, and this is one way to do that.
Thank you so much. Department of Campus Activity Board. Department of Civic Engagement.
All right, happy Tuesday. So I'll try to keep this a little short. The Green Fund project is coming along nicely. I have a meeting tomorrow with Chris Scholl and Chris Hack, who are both directors of dining in different aspects, I suppose, tomorrow to discuss the project a bit more. So I hope to get some progress there. I also have my bi-weekly meeting with the sustainability team tomorrow. So if you'd like notes on that, I would be happy to provide. As Mr. Leno stated, we have our Ukrainian demonstration the 30th of March from 5 to 7. Please, 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 please show up. It'd be great to see so much shade support for our Ukrainian students. And we'll have resources there that you can use as well to donate if you like. Let's see, Paint Yourself Green is also in development. It'll be our big Earth Day event. We just got a date and time. My apologies. We just got a date and time set down. So when the confirmation happens on that, I will let you guys know. And with that, I yield my.
Thank you so much. Department of Communications, Department of Community Outreach.
Hello, everyone. Happy Tiger Tuesday. I'll make sure not to laugh through this report. So don't forget, I'm hosting a pre-meeting on March 31st. We will be packing bags for the Baltimore Hunger Project. That will count as a service hour if you do show up. And it's also in CLA 4330, so not listed come. So just pay attention to that. And as we get closer, I'll alert everybody of the location change. And as Nicole stated earlier, register for the big event. It's April 30th. It is required for SGA members. I sent an email on how to sign up a couple days ago. If you have any questions about that, just let me know. We are serving in person. There are a few options. So you're serving with the Office of Civic Engagement. You're serving in person. And I am the group leader, so no need to put yourself as the group leader. And also, when you are done, you get a confirmation email. Please forward me and Attorney General Kapoor the email, as we don't know who signs up. So please forward that confirmation email to me and Attorney General Kapoor. Yeah.
If we're signing up for the different org, do you want us to forward it to you just so you know we're doing it, or only if we're like with your team?
Yes, this just send it to me. Okay. And then last thing, Tiger-thon is in the works. We're trying to get in contact with them. We really want to be involved this year in the organization and just participation of Tiger-thon. So maybe if you know someone who does Tiger-thon, feel free to give me their number or personal email, because we really would like to get more involved with them. And with that, I yield.
Thank you. I'm really excited for the big event. I love it. So I'm very excited. Department of Diversity and Inclusion.
Hello, everyone. Hope you're all having a good Tuesday. I don't have that much to say. Main things I want to say is I wanted to advertise an event CSC having tomorrow. It's called Refining Womanhood. It's going to be tomorrow at 6:30. It's going to be here in the Union in room 302E. Basically, going to be talking about redefining the definition of womanhood now in 2022. So I highly recommend showing up and supporting. I'm also in kind of CSD because we're having our Pride Week. That's going to be from April 11th to 18th. So stay tuned for all of that. And as well as reminding anyone to send artwork for the art gallery in the FJ office, which will be happening on April 5th for Not Up to You. And yeah, that's it. That I yield.
Thank you. Department of Health and Wellness. Department of Higher Education.
Hi, everyone. I'm going to report today. I don't know if you all saw, but the flyer for the Arts Integration Marathon is up, and the donation link is active. So if you can, go ahead and get on the Instagram page and share that as much as you can. Definitely a huge shout out to Director Roger Guys and Director Clark for getting that all situated for me. They did amazing. And as far as the actual event, we are still looking for volunteers, whether that's to perform, showcase your art, or speak or help with setup. We are taking all kinds of volunteers. So if you're interested, there is a Google form with the post on SGA or SGA's Instagram, or you can just come, whichever you can do. And with that, I yield.
Thank you, Department of Health and Wellness.
Okay, Director Green says, please save the date. It's on us will be on May 2nd. Also, the Counseling Center wants to emphasize the importance of telling all of your friends about Together Off. It's a resource for students and you can sign up for performance online. With that, I yield.
Thank you so much, Department of Marketing.
Every time Tuesday, everybody, I just wanted to give a quick reminder to please repost everything we post on the SGA Instagram. As Director Kemp said, the Arts Integration Marathon flyer is now up, so please repost that when you can. Also, the 3v3 basketball tournament flyer is up. Please repost that as well as on Thursday. With that, I yield.
Thank you so much, Department of Student Organization.
Hello, everyone. So just quick deadlines. The deadline for student orgs to meet with their senator is April 1st. And Q4U was canceled because of the weather last Saturday. But the orgs that registered still be getting 20 Tiger points for it. And the next Q4U is March 18th, this Friday. And then we have a couple in April as well. And then the involvement fair is for April is still in the planning process. And we're thinking about doing it on April 7th. So I'll be meeting with Chris Rendosh regarding that. And with that, I yield.
Thank you so much, Department of New Student Development.
Hey guys, happy Tiger Tuesday. So please continue to promote the March Madness event. It's on Thursday, March 17th, also St. Patrick's Day. I know Chief Staff already put in her weekly email, but you guys get a service hour for coming out and volunteering to pass out waters or Gatorade to the participants. So, think about coming out to that. Also, transfer council elections will be on March 28th. So the Monday after spring break, we will be getting our e-board. So I just want to make you aware of that. And now also I'm on the University Curriculum Committee. And this week we talked about the different required classes for the criminal justice major and if we were going to change things like that. If you guys have any questions about that, just feel free to email me or just talk to me. With that, I yield.
Thank you so much. That was no report. Thank you. Greek Life Representative.
Hello. So nothing much to report, everyone's ready for spring break, of course, but tomorrow the Alpha Phi and Theta Chi blood drive is in the University Union. So make sure if you want to donate blood, as we talked about last week, definitely helps out everyone. And this also counts as community service and philanthropy points, so that's awesome. MGC and IGC are starting their election process up soon, so that's always good to hear. And I'll be looking forward to new executive board of the MGC and the IGC. And then that is really much it. Have a great spring break, guys.
Thank you so much, Freshman Council Representative.
Hello, everyone. My voice is a little blessed right now, but it's all good. Happy Tiger Tuesday and blessed afternoon. Not much to report, but I just wanted to let y'all know that we are trying to push out some legislation. I know we did some good job just having more events out there, freshmen. We're trying to at least get involved in the legal aspect of freshman council. So we're trying to start having representations in every type of residential hall. So that's one thing we're trying to push forward. Other than that, we are trying to, I believe after spring break, we're trying to plan for a really big event in around Freedom Square, just having forgot what it is, but dunk tank, yes, that's kind of cool. Also food, we'll let you know about the flyer and about the event soon, but that's just some ideas we have going on. But with that, I yield.
Thank you so much, Disability Representative.
Hi guys, hope everything's well with you. So just a couple, things that to just update on is that, as always, please fill out or promote the disability survey. It will be great for me because I'll be able to do more for disabled students, and that can be found on the SGA, bio of the Instagram. Similarly, I've been having, meetings with, the ADS, about accessibility on campus and making ADS applying for that to be more easy and accommodable. I've also been going to the interviews for the new ADS director, which I will be continuing to do so for the rest of this week. And finally, I am going to be having meetings with the Huffman Center on neurodivergency on campus. And with that,
Thank you. Hello, everyone. Okay, everyone's just slouching, so let's all sit up. It's the last day for spring break. Come on. I want everyone to know that it's still the 101st. I know I say this every TA, but I really want to stress that when we come back from spring break, we have like events upon events upon events. No one should be in the office. Like, if you're not doing work in the office, you should be out volunteering to help with an event. After spring break, that should be the standard, right? Because we're gonna have a lot of events, and you already heard several events even before spring break need help, volunteers. So please volunteer with that. Some are office hours, some are service hours. So make sure you do that. We really want an impactful spring. That was kind of the communication I offered from winter retreat. So we should all be out there helping create more lively campus. I am postponing our Senator one-on-ones. The CIO interviews, stacked them all tomorrow, from like 9 to 5. So I will be kind of doing interviews then. So we will be doing our Senator one-on-ones after spring break. If you do want to do yours before spring break though, I am free Thursday and Friday. Just let me know and we can schedule a time. I want to be as accommodating as possible. Thank you for that. And Pro Tem Chetty and I have started to re-up. I heard the Senate week. So once we have more dates and more confirmation on that, I will make sure you all know about that. I'm very, very excited. Committees are going well. So I'm very excited. Soon after spring break, a lot of our GAs will have more impactful legislation. Not the legislation now, it's not impactful, but we will have more legislation. So be prepared for GAs going until 7 o'clock. And yeah, I'm really excited for the rest of the semester. Okay. Are there any opinions of the court?
Hi, everyone. Happy Tiger Tuesday. Hope y'all are doing well. There are no opinions of the court. With that, I yield.
Thank you.
Okay. Unfinished business, there is no unfinished business, so we'll move into new business. Are there any motions on the floor? Senator Maddox.
I move that we review resolution 33.
All right, is there a second? Senator Mackey.
Second.
All right, is there any discussion? If not, we can move into a vote. All those in favor? Opposed? Abstaining, and with that, the motion passes. So we'll now review resolution 33. One second. Okay. So this is my legislation, which is a little tricky, but I'll try to just tell you guys the facts. So this was something that was brought to my attention towards the end of last semester, which is about Baltimore County's zoning laws. I believe some of you may have heard of it before. And originally, just to give you guys a story of the legislation, this was supposed to be about Greek life, but I quickly realized that this had a more far-reaching effects. We switched it to just a general off-campus housing bill, and it's about the zoning laws in Baltimore County. So I'm sorry, this is a little small. Thank you. So just a few things about this bill, what it wants to accomplish. This is to advocate for fair housing and protect to renters and also landlords in the area. And this affects the whole greater Baltimore community, all of Baltimore County, so it's not just about TU. And the zoning laws are currently unfair and outdated. So this is eventually the end goal is to have TU advocate to remove them. So the current legislature, most recently voted on in 2016. It's still a viable standing piece of Baltimore County zoning laws. It's illegal for 3 or more unrelated individuals to reside in any rental residence, which is on private property. So this doesn't mean like hotels, motels, apartment buildings, or boarding and rooming houses, but it does mean any private residences like a townhome or a privately owned home that's being rented out to anyone, not just TU students. So as I mentioned, this matters because it affects TU students in a negative way, in that it's a lot cheaper, obviously, to split rent between multiple people. That can make it make or break for someone being able to afford to live off campus. And for example, a lot of people, if they can't afford to live off campus, they're taking out more student loans to pay for their housing. But this is a rental price difference between like $1,800 to $450. So it's a large difference. And also it's convenient for students to live in an off-campus setting like the townhomes right across the street, as opposed to living somewhere like Aspen that has the same like walkability, but is like 3 to 4 times the price of rent. So in addition, there are some sort of a little further away, closer to the mall, but those have shuttles too. So it's a very convenient way for students to be able to live in the Towson area, and not just students as well, just anyone who's trying to have cheaper rent, recent grads or people from not Towson in general. So as I mentioned, people who are affected, basically anybody who's trying to live off of campus, especially people seeking affordable housing, renters and landlords in all of Baltimore County, and the original purpose of this bill, which does affect them still, is Greek life members. So this is why we can't have like off-campus Greek life housing of any kind. But it doesn't just affect Greek life. So this legislation, as you'll see in the therefore be it resolved and therefore be it further resolved, is seeking to have our public stance be made about the zoning law, and then the SGA president would advocate against this law and basically advocate for its removal. So that is the end goal of this bill. And that's my little presentation. I'm going to go back to sharing. Is there any discussion on the bill? Director Johnston.
Sorry, okay. You said that it passed the committee as favorable with amendments. Are you allowed to share those amendments with us?
Sure.
Thank you.
Government Operations Committee added the therefore be it further resolved section. And in addition, there were, I believe there were some friendly amendments as well. Any further discussion?
So I'm recommending currently with Greek life, we have done 2 studies. Oh, I got it. That was right there. So don't worry, didn't say anything. So Greek Life Office has currently done 2 different studies on the fact of Greek Life houses in 2010 and in 2015, back when our chapters were over 100 in sizes, or at least the IFC, of course. But for the most part, it was what's the word? Unfavorable to have houses in the community, because if you look at the numbers that have to support a house, usually if you have a house of 15 guys, that if the chapter is only 50 inside, that's like about 25% of the whole chapter, which is to the cost of having a house and all that is just unfavorable. So if Greek life increases with like 50% in like the next 5 to 10 years, which is highly unlikely, especially at Towson the way kind of things are right now. It's just it'll be more favorable to have houses and have a physical presence, but as of right now, Towson, especially in the Greek life community and the national chapters around in the United States currently, do not support houses at Towson University. So if we are removing the fraternity life aspect of this bill, I definitely support it. But as of right now, the fourth stanza of the fraternity life at Towson University currently spans 5 council. I recommend to the Senate to have that revoked, or I don't know what the words are. I don't really remember. But I mean, I understand there's some other policies too that I'd like to have included in this bill, such as Towson University's policy 05-1-2, which is the policy on campus disorderly and disruptive behavior. That policy is very, very strong at Towson. The Office of Student Conduct uses it a lot, and it actually shows, that improvements were made to the Towson University community, 100%. And then also just like talking about more, I would like to recommend to the Senate about the boarding house permits and stuff like that, and that there is a required 15-day posting period where any interested person can file a formal request for a public hearing of that zoning law. So yeah, that's all for right now.
For your first recommendation, is that a formal recommendation?
Yeah, I would formally recommend that.
Okay, can you restate the recommendation?
I fully recommend that we remove or redact the fourth whereas about fraternity life at Towson University currently spans 5 councils, and Greek members represent a large population of the Towson University students, and throughout the efforts as far reach the impacts of greater Baltimore community and beyond. This law also negatively impacts any further efforts of fraternity housing in Baltimore County. I also want to remove the.
Sorry, we'll just do one.
Okay.
No, you're good. Okay, does anyone accept? Senator Hayes. Is there a second? Senator Egan. All right, is there any discussion on the recommendation? Vice President English.
Hi, thank you for your feedback. So to explain exactly, this bill isn't saying that we're even asking Towson to consider fraternity Greek life. This is just saying if we get rid of these zoning laws, in the future, it would allow it to happen if the university wants to. Like you said, there's not enough students for this to be financially feasible, but like if the zoning law is gone in like 20 years, if Towson decides to do it, it could be feasible. So like this line isn't saying we want Towson to do it now. It's just saying this is one component that we're also factoring in that in 20, 30, 40 years now, Towson like doubles in size. And Towson was like, now we want to consider fraternities and sorority housing. The zoning law is not there, so we could do it. Does that make sense? So it's not asking the university to do anything. It's just one component that we're asking the people we're asking to lobby for. This is a consideration and why we want this resolution gone. Does that make sense?
Yeah, definitely. Turn off. Yeah, definitely. It just seems to me when I'm reading the bill that it seems like it's a Greek life bill, and really this affects more than just Greek life. A lot of students, including my friends and I, are having trouble finding, just housing because of this law. And mom and dad, renters are having problems where, they have to keep everything under the table. Everything can't be transparent because if they do, they'll lose their renter's license and stuff like that. So a lot of things that Towson is currently having a problem with is that everything is just behind like closed shades and no one's being transparent about anything about housing. So I believe, if we want to affect this bill is really for the student body. And just by removing the stance, we can add a more stance about the policies of the section 48B and, the reasons why no permits haven't been out, especially because on the Towson Community Alliance page, which is, the lines of all the different kind of counties, states that, no rooming or boarding house permits have ever been issued at Towson. Towson Community Associates have routinely opposed granting these permits in order to maintain the residential character of this area. So to me, that sounds like this is not just a Greek life issue, but just they hate Towson students in general. So I definitely understand of that concern.
Senator Mathis.
I think that this whereas that we're talking about right now, I think that it personally, like, I think that it strengthens the bill. And if you look further on into the whereas below it, the second to last and the last whereas, it explicitly does state that it does not only impact fraternal life members, other all college students living in Baltimore County. And I do like a lot of the points that Representative McGuire is bringing up, but I think those would be a lot stronger in their own bill, so we can focus on them and like specifically target them rather than adding them on to this current bill that we're discussing.
Justice Urbana Olson.
Point of personal privilege.
Granted. Yes. And step up to the microphone. Thank you.
First off, I'd like to applaud you for noticing how, I mean, of course, your interest in this bill came from Greek life, but you understanding that the more importance of this in the grander scheme. Like, I promise you, when the state of Maryland or Baltimore County created this bill, they weren't putting Greek life into consideration. This is a classes issue. It's a way to keep rich people comfortable. If Towson is going to become a college environment, if it's going to continue to grow as a university, then accessible and affordable housing needs to be not an anomaly for students to find on campus. So keep that in mind when it comes to voting for this bill. You guys are fighting an issue on classism, not much for, I mean, because you even pointed out, you know, like this doesn't help Greek life right now. Maybe eventually grassroots, whatever, 10 years down the line. But right now, the issue that you guys are combating is the issue dealing with classism within the city of Towson. That's why that law is here. That's why the zoning law. That's why. So yeah, just keep that in this consideration. Because I really feel like we have an ability to, like you said, create a permanent change within the community of Towson University.
Thank you. Senator Madden.
Kind of going off that, I also think that this wouldn't just be a benefit for Towson. This affects like all of Baltimore County. So schools like Groucher, UMBC would also be positively affected by this. So it's not just helping for us, but like this as well.
Thank you. Just a reminder, we're discussing the recommendation to remove the fourth whereas. Is there any further discussion on that recommendation? Before we move to a vote? Yes, Justice Yance.
Yeah, I was, can
Yes.
okay. I was gonna say, I agree with the, I don't know, the name, sorry.
Sean McGuire.
Yeah, I agree with his recommendation, because I do, like, I'm not Greek life, geez. So I don't know, but, I don't know like all the details and stuff, but I do think it's important that if it doesn't really, if this, like the fourth whereas, if that doesn't really support Greek life, right now, I don't feel like it's necessary to put it in there. And as you said, I'm so sorry, I don't know the name, but he said it's a classism issue, which I do agree with. So I feel like just saying like, oh, like this impacts, like emphasizing like this impacts fraternal life members, when right now it kind of doesn't. And it's more of like a classism issue. I feel like putting that in there kind of dumps down like why this is so important for it to be passed. So yeah, that's just my.
Senator Egan.
I guess I have two things. The first is that the first is that the first is that since this was originally a Greek life bill, wouldn't that inherently mean that they kind of wanted this to happen? Or maybe I'm like tripping. Because I'm just thinking like if it was originally Greek, like a bill with Greek life housing, that means that there are some students who are Greek life that do want this bill to pass or do want housing, like Greek life housing, or am I like messing this up?
This bill was requested by Director legislative affairs on behalf of Greek life, but I'll let Vice President English, if you have a response.
Yeah, so this is a bill idea that's been floating around SGA for like the last like 3 years. This is the first time it's like coming on the floor. But like, I guess the issue here is that several newer members to the housing community like want this bill, while older members, like with their relationship with the department, realizes it's not financially feasible. So that's kind of like the dynamic that's going on. So yeah. Did that answer your question?
Yeah, I guess my other question is, so the implementation would just be the president writing a letter to the county execs, right?
And then therefore be further resolved, it just says that the president will write a letter to the Baltimore County Council.
Yeah, okay.
That's President.
Yeah, I think we're getting caught up a lot in like the semantics of the bill. Again, in the fifth whereas, it says rather all college students living in Baltimore County are affected by scarcity of housing. So when we go to the Baltimore County, like what Marvin was saying, there's probably a lot of local people who would be against this, a lot of people who own single family homes, a lot of people who've been here for a long time. They may argue, hey, this is probably about Greek life. In our letter, we will stress, no, it's not about Greek life. It affects all students. So we kind of us bringing up Greek life is kind of us bringing it up before potential opponents can bring it up against us, right? So as we all know, like local people may not necessarily want Greek life housing, right? Whether that's your opinion or not, it doesn't matter. This bill is about affordability, making sure students can afford a home, which is why we're bringing it up. Because that's the first thought a lot of people would have when they like first think about why the zoning exists, or not why it exists, but like why the zoning hasn't been recalled in a college town yet. So the idea is less, we're saying it's because of Greek life, it's more like your first thought might be Greek life, but we're actually saying, no, it's about affordable housing. And, you know, again, like 25 years from now, maybe it can be about Greek life. But for right now, it's about affordable housing. We recognize that this is not something that the department wants, and this bill is not saying it's something the department wants. What this bill is saying, as in the fifth whereas and the sixth whereas, this bill is purely about financial ability. And even in the therefore be it resolved, it doesn't reference fraternity or sorority life at all. So.
Thank you. This comment is not to sway, just for background information. I forgot to mention, I did reach out to the director of fraternity and sorority life, both Carly Beasley and Taylor Savick, and we had a conversation where they basically stated your same concern, and so I took out large portions of the bill that had to do with Greek life, just for background. But just as a reminder, we're still talking about the recommendation to remove the fourth whereas. Are there any further comments on that recommendation? If not, we'll move into a vote. All those in favor? Opposed? Abstaining? That motion fails, so we'll keep the fourth whereas. Did you, Representative McGuire, did you have a follow-up recommendation?
I mean, we can talk about how, you know, the process of section 40B, that the 15 days posting period for the permit is allowed to file a formal request of a public hearing, and that the zoning commissioner, after a public a hearing, can use that to, you know, change his, you know, opinions on, you know, giving the permit out or not, and then like changes, like accept or deny the request.
Is that a recommendation to add that in, or just a?
It's just a comment.
Okay, thank you. Are there any other comments about the bill as a whole at this point? If not, we'll move into a vote on the bill as a whole. All those in favor? Opposed? Abstaining? And with that, the motion passes, and so does the bill. And I'm sorry, the screen, I locked us out. Really clear. So there's no other new business. Are there any announcements? Yes, Representative McGuire.
So, I just want to say, like, I think the SGA should really get into contact with the Towson Community Alliance, because they are the ones that are really focused on their opinions about the zoning law and stuff like that. They are very like for it. So there's actually a meeting tomorrow. Actually, no, not tomorrow, Thursday, and I believe it's at 7:30 p.m. over Zoom. I secretly have the Zoom link, so if you need it, I can give it to you. So if the SGA is interested in, representing, and there's already a representative from Towson. It is Katie Maloney. She's Towson University's guest report. So if anyone is interested, either info.
Sorry, thank you, Vice President Ember. Yeah, thank you for that information. And we can send that to me. But also, I have a really good relationship with Katie Maloney. We work together for Tiger Pride Day, among other initiatives. So I will definitely reach out to her. Do you already go to the meetings?
I haven't yet. I'm working on it.
Would you like to go?
Yeah, I'm going. I will this time because they're just at bad times for me. It's Thursday at 7:30.
Okay, we'll talk.
Yeah, talk.
Thank you. Are there any other announcements? Yes, Ken Jones.
Hi, everyone. Again, just make sure, like Advisor Leno said, please be safe next week. If anyone needs anything, any emergencies, please DM me. Just please be safe. And also, this pre-meeting is optional, but that's because we're pushing to go to the March Madness tournament. So yes, no pre-meeting, but please try to show up to the March Madness tournament, show up to some other Towson events this week. I know CAB is also having their CAB week. So they're having events every day, all week too. So just make sure you're also supporting SGA events as well as Towson community events. As it gets warmer, you're gonna see a lot of people having events in Freedom Square, outside, just hanging out. So make sure you pop up, even if you don't participate, go up, be like, hey, how are you? Oh, my name is, Jessica, I'm Attorney General for SGA. Introduce yourself, see what the event's about. Yeah.
Thank you. Any further announcements? If not, are there any motions on the floor? Senator, I move that we adjourn. Is there a second? Senator Hayes. A second. All right, is there any discussion? If not, we move into a vote. All those in favor? Opposed, abstaining, and if that's the motion passes, meeting adjourned.
Where's the name tag? Also remember to put your name tag in the box. Put your name tag in the box. I think
You're really good at